Welcome. I'm John Canopener.
And I'm James Wang.
And together we are Rock Hard. And welcome to another double feature. This is where we see a movie in theaters and a movie at home and decide which one we recommend to go see.
Yes.
Do you waste your money at the theater or do you find something on streaming at home? Maybe spend a little money. Something like that. But today, the movies are A Quiet Place, Day One, which just released in theaters.
Yep.
And we're a little behind on this one, but In a Violent Nature just came on Vudu. So we got that one. So In a Violent Nature, A Quiet Place Part 2. Which one will we think is the winner here? Which one should you go see? First off the bat, we saw A Quiet Place 2, or A Quiet Place Day 1 last night. Terrible experience. The movie was very good.
Yeah, I was like, the movie was really good, but the theater experience is what sucked the most.
Sucked ass.
Literally.
You know what it is, though? I think it's because they do this PG-13 bullshit, and we get a crowd full of kids.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much what comes down to it.
People don't know how to shut the fuck up. The movie's called A Quiet Place. Theater should be a quiet place.
Yep.
But it's all about them, right? It's all about the people. I want to hear your conversation. I don't want to hear what's on the screen, right? Or even the scenes where it was dead fucking quiet. You still hear a little something just rustling. Even people with their popcorn, no respect. Dude, just wait till something happens and then you can fucking grow up on your popcorn or something like that.
I was like, well, since we're on the topic of that, there was these people in front of us who we knew, like, this. And that's the one thing me personally, I don't like doing. I don't like judging people without getting to know them. Well, I mean, everyone's different. I don't like judging people before I get to know them. But just by looking at these people, which it was a group of chicks, they seemed like younger, like kids, like TikTok, like that's all they're all about, and they like the same. They try to be different, whatever the fuck, but they're copy and paste, copy and paste people all over the fucking place. And we were like, you know what? They might be a problem. Sure as shit they were. They were talking like at the most intense scenes, kept taking me out of the movie, so we wind up moving out of place. We moved to the very front of the theater, even though we're not supposed to do that. We still did anyway.
Paid for the seats in the back. We like the seats in the back, in the corner where nobody goes. That's our safe spot there. But no, these bitches in front of us had to fucking meow. Even if it's a little bit, it's still annoying. Anyway, go on.
And we moved to the front. Like I said, even though technically we're not supposed to do that, but you know how, I don't know if every theater is the same, but there's always that one worker that walks in and checks everything out, make sure everything's going to. If they would have saw us in those seats and realized that these seats weren't taken, I would have gladly been like, yeah, there's people behind us won't stop fucking talking or stop.
Yeah, kick them out.
Yeah. Anyway, we were in the way front of the theater, and then literally these people behind us in the very front came in late. And they were fucking talking, and they were even more annoying. And I looked at John, and I was like, no fucking way that we moved twice just for get annoyed a second time.
We were getting so annoyed that we had to go out and get another beer.
Yes.
Just to calm us down because it was fucking terrible. Thank God this theater has a beer or a bar.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, terrible. You're just because it takes you out of it. I want to get scared. Already, it's a PG-13 movie, so there's only so much they can do. Mm-hmm. But we've seen movies that can kill with fucking tension and shit. Insidious.
Yes.
Shit like that. Quiet Place. Mm-hmm. Fucking scary. In this one, there's so many parts in here to where you're supposed to feel tense, and when a motherfucker's over here yapping about their fucking, whatever, the popcorn or some shit, like, shut up. Like, shut the fuck up. It takes you right out of it, so. All these emotional points, that's one thing that The Quiet Place does all the time. Even though it's a horror movie, they deal with a lot of emotional things, family-wise, or just fucking basically family, keep the family together. This happens to be two strangers that happen to like have each other's backs because they feel like they're the last people on Earth, kind of. You know?
Pretty much, yeah.
Trying to get to safety, trying to get to this boat, and yeah, I really dug what they had to do because they can't talk that much, so it's mostly just facial fucking expression. Doing something for a complete stranger that is kind of out of pocket, you know what I mean? I don't want to we never want to give too much away on these things because we want to go see them. But yeah, just the connection between the two main characters I thought was great. And I wanted to see more of that and getting enveloped in that shit. I wanted to be, soaked in it. I wanted to just I don't want to think about these people around me. I hate it. And And that's why we should have headphones at the theater. I'm telling you. There's probably a theater that's already done this, but I'm telling you, they should make it optional to where you can Bluetooth and sync up with the theaters just so you don't have to hear these fucks. Because I feel like that would solve a lot of problems.
I was like, and that reminded me something too. The people that came in late behind us, I don't know what movie they walked into. I don't know if they've ever seen the other two movies before this one. It's dead quiet. And this movie is called A Quiet Place. Keep in mind, they came in, it was quiet, and then obviously the main girl, she's like, you know, trying to like signal to the guy in front of her, and she's like, in the background, all you hear is she deaf? I'm just like, bitch, do you not know what fucking movie you're in? Like, why are you asking these stupid questions?
They're not talking. This is weird. Maybe because in the past two fucking movies, these scary monsters come if you make a fucking sound.
Exactly, and I'm just thinking like, oh my god, like if this was an actual experience, you'd be fucking dead.
Yeah.
Without a doubt. Yeah, I wish this shit exists.
Yeah.
So,
take them out.
So they can just come in and just fucking get these people that talk during the movies.
Just munch your head.
God damn, that's what I'm saying. Like, other than that, like this movie, A Quiet Place Day One, had the perfect amount of emotion, intensity. You feel connected with these characters. The only thing that took me out was the theater experience. I know it's not their fault, so I'm not even gonna shit on this movie. If you go watch it, I think you would have a good time. It's like not even like the movie itself was wrong. It was just the people that we unfortunately had to deal with is what made it kind of unbearable.
Yeah, it sucked. Theater experience sucked.
Yeah.
But from what I saw of the movie, it was good. I really enjoyed this movie. It hit me on all the ports. All the ports that I was supposed to. I felt like these characters really cared about each other, even though they're complete strangers.
Yep.
And the monsters are good. I kind of feel a little like this is probably the weakest one out of the three that we have, Quiet Places. But I feel like it's a fine story for just a different perspective of where shit goes down when it first starts, because it's New York. Shit's crazy.
I was like, even then too, like if you have never seen any of the Quiet Place movies and this was the first one you saw in theaters, so if you've never seen it, you can still go watch this and kind of just learn and then watch the other first and then second one. So you wouldn't be completely lost in the sauce if this was your first Quiet Place movie.
Yeah, you get it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like this movie, it was a perfect prequel and a good like starting point for this franchise.
Because we kind of saw it day one in part two.
Yeah.
We kind of saw how it started, where John Krasinski's family was, or whatever.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I like the second one more than the first one.
I'd have to watch them again.
Yeah.
I like them both, though.
And there's nothing too complex about this movie. Because, like, again, this one is the third movie in this franchise. Even though it's a prequel, you already kind of know the premise. So it's...
They don't waste too much time on, like, oh, we got to figure
like
out,
lore,
shut the fuck up.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
like, that's what I'm saying. Like, you already kind of know. So it's, like, not like you're not knowing what you're getting into, basically. So this movie definitely hit its points when it comes to tension and emotion.
One thing that I've always wondered, though, is because, yeah, it's a great movie. The premise is cool. Shut the fuck up and you're fine. But at the same time, these things can hear, like, the smallest little thing and go after it. Mm-hmm. I've always felt like your heartbeat when you're scared. Your heartbeat in general, but when you're scared, it's like, like, couldn't they pick that up? I'm just saying. If you fart, like, you gotta fart. You gotta
shit, you gotta piss.
You gotta do all that kind of stuff. I feel like they would hear every little thing like that, but I'll let it go because just tension alone. I think there's good tension in here. I think there's good stuff. The cat's awesome. There's a cat in here. The cat's great.
Even the emotion between two strangers, like that's the thing too. Like, yeah,
what one's willing to do for the other one, even though they don't know each other, but they just feel like this is all they got. You know,
it's really hard to like not say anything without spoiling it. But yeah, this movie has again, I feel like every A Quiet Place movie has emotion, and this one again does not fail to show and exploit that emotion in this movie. This one does it really well. So
yeah, it's a really good movie. I liked it. I liked it a lot. Moving on to the next one, we just finished watching In a Violent Nature in the comfort of our own home. We got to pause it a couple times, take a couple pees.
Couple
It's always the
peepees.
benefit of being at home. You don't have to
Yeah.
miss anything. It's great.
Or when something happens and then you're like, oh wait, what just happened? Play that back, rewind it.
Yeah, we got to rewind a couple times.
Yeah.
We are behind on this. I know this movie's been out for a while, but In a Violent Nature is frustrating.
Yes. I think that's the perfect way to say it.
It's frustrating. It's frustrating because every time the killer, you know what this is. That's what we're wearing these. It's pretty much Jason. They can't call him Jason. His name's John.
Johnny?
Johnny.
Yeah.
And very similar. Very similar. They're trying to make a Jason without saying it's Jason. And you're supposed. I thought the whole movie was going to be his perspective the whole fucking time.
Yeah.
Mostly it is.
For the most, I think
when
like
it's not-
90% it is his.
But when it's not his perspective, good God, I don't care. I don't care about. You don't care about any of these characters. You're just waiting for them to die. The kills are fucking great. I'll tell you that. That's what saves this movie. The setting's cool. I like how there's no like studio sound. It's all birds and crickets and shit. And I feel like that was a really cool. It made me want to go to the woods, even though people are getting slaughtered. But goddamn, when they get to the characters and they show them, I was like, what are we doing here? Because I don't care about anything you're saying. You don't even know who the main person is until the end, and then even that, like the final girl, she's nothing to write home about. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm
She
saying.
didn't have like a face-to-face like battle with the motherfucker.
No, that's what I was gonna say. Like this movie feels like, because it's so hard without going into detail. This movie feels like an unedited version of a horror movie. Again, like Friday the 13th. It's exactly that. Just picture that, but unedited. No music, no sound effects. It's just pure fucking raw footage, and it's a slow burn. But if you're into if you're into that type of shit, if you're into like slashers and all that cool shit, I enjoyed it, certain parts. But yeah, they do introduce some characters which I don't know their names even right now after watching it.
You don't care.
You don't care about them. And then they have this dialogue that drags. And it's like, dude, I don't know your name. I don't know anything about you. So what you're saying is a whole lot of fucking nothing. Like, it sucks.
Yeah, when Johnny's on screen, I thought the worst part, I thought I was going to hate just watching, because I heard rumbles about this movie. I thought the worst part for me was just going to be watching Johnny walk through the fucking woods and stuff like that. I didn't mind that at all.
No, I think that was the only, like, redeeming quality of him and the kills like he done.
Yeah, and
That's it.
And seeing how he like comes upon somebody and like how he figures out how to do stuff and whatever. I don't want to give too much away, but then when they choose to like finally we're gonna zoom in on the characters and we're gonna act like we give a shit about these people, it falls apart like a motherfucker because I don't care. We never spend any time with them, so like every time they come on, I'm like, kill them. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about anybody. And then the ending, good God.
That was the most.
The last 10 minutes are fucking.
The most dragged. It was like it was a snooze fest. Like
it's just wasted. It's
yeah.
a wasted fucking 10 minutes. Like I was like, all right, okay, he's gonna show up. Something's gonna happen here. Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
It just ends.
Yeah, we can't say too much, man, because we want you guys to experience this because it is a cool movie. It's fun, like we did. It's fun to just sit around, have a couple Pepsis, and chill out, and watch it, and maybe just for the kills, because the kills are great. I'd say they're on Terrifier level.
Terrifier, yeah. Oh, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, Terrifier level type kills.
Takes its time with the kills too.
I was gonna say, I was kind of thinking this while we were watching it. I'm like, this is like, if before the movie started and it came out A24. I would have like, yeah, this is definitely like an A24 fucking like art horror or fucking like elevator horror. I think that's the terminology, elevator horror or art horror like type movie where it's like artsy fartsy, like there's a meaning behind it. And I'm just like, dude, you're trying to get a slasher and try to make it art is like, no, like you can't. Like, watch Hereditary, watch the Babadook, watch those type of movies if you want to see fucking Pearl, like elevated art type horror. We want a slasher movie where this guy just fucks everyone up, and he kind of does that. So I'm saying 90% of the movie is good, but the remaining 10% is always characters and dialogue that we don't give a fuck about. And then they're talking, and I'm just looking at you like, what the fuck are they even talking about? Like,
I don't care at all.
I don't care. That's what I'm saying.
I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
But it is pretty much a rip-off of Friday the 13th.
Yeah.
And to be honest, we're kind of iffy on that franchise. That's going to be one that we go through. We're going to take our time with that. It's not coming anytime soon, but
no,
we will do it. But that's one we're not too familiar with. We've seen a few movies in them, but everybody knows Jason. Everybody knows Jason. We know what happened to him. We know why he's back. We know why he kills people at the camp. Stay out of his fucking territory. Mm-hmm. You know, it's that, but his name's Johnny, and he has a Slipknot mask, and he's brutal. Very brutal. And I'm telling you, again, I love seeing it when it was just him. When it was him figuring out, when you hear trickles of like people in the background, like, did you hear Johnny was, and this was what happened?
We I'm saying, like,
that's all we need from these people.
There's character dialogue in the background when shit's going down.
That you would see in a typical movie.
That you would see, yeah. So if it was from their perspective, if you flip the perspective, it's the character like, oh my god, what the fuck is going on and shit like that. You kind of hear something like that, but you see it from the character's POV just walking.
While he's walking up.
And that's it.
And he
like
sees
if they were to keep something like that the entire fucking movie and until the end,
yes,
it would have been awesome. But they flip it to the characters and like you never showed that the entire movie. So why should we care about the people now?
Exactly. So we don't give a shit about these people.
Very disposable characters.
Yeah, I was. Anytime Johnny was on screen, I was like, please stop. I just don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care. I do not care. So, given that, even with our terrible experience with Quiet Place, with the fucking dumbass people in that theater, I still say, go to the movies and watch A Quiet Place day one.
Yes.
But also, when you have some free time, go ahead and check out In a Violent Nature. It's worth watching, at least for the kills. If you're a gore...
If you're a gore whore, yeah, if you're a gore whore, this is definitely...
It's got it. There's some really creative kills in here. If that's all you're in for, it's fun in that aspect.
I feel like that, or if you're an artsy-fartsy fucking type horror person too. Like,
or if you like hiking, with
yeah,
your little granola bars and shit like that, walking in the woods.
These characters also made some stupid ass decisions in A Violent Nature. They made some dumb decisions. You're just like, dude, like this.
Super cliche.
You're yelling. This movie will get you. Yeah, like you said earlier, this movie is very frustrating. Which I guess maybe that's their whole point. I don't know. I don't know if that's what they're going for. It's very frustrating. It makes you yell at the fucking TV like, yo, just stop. Yeah.
We have to do something with someone just so this could happen and everything like that. We just found out from this guy that this is supposed to happen. Or
just leave.
You get in that fucking truck.
Just get the fuck out of here. Literally. And I'm saying, like you nailed it, which is it being frustrating. Yeah. That's it. This movie's and In a Violent Nature is frustrating, but if you're into that artsy fartsy or if you're in for the gore, it will be for you. But honestly, A Quiet Place Day One is probably the top contender here.
It still keeps up.
Yes.
With the first two, and I feel like there's a part 3 coming from those two, and I feel like this is a nice little. Maybe they haven't figured out the story yet. Maybe because John Rice Krispies is too busy right now.
Yeah.
Maybe this is just to keep people like at bay for a little bit. Like here's a little story. We're gonna keep it the same. We're not gonna change too much, and then we're gonna get a part 3. You know what I mean?
Yes.
This is technically a prequel, but I'm still waiting for that part 3 because it ended like there should be more.
Yeah, for real.
Yeah. So anyway, A Quiet Place Day One is the winner. A PG-13 over a crazy R-rated gore slash fest. You heard it from us first, peeps.
Yes.
Go enjoy A Quiet Place Day One. And you know what? If you have time, check out In a Violent Nature. But today, A Quiet Place Day One is the victor.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So with that, we love you guys. Thank you guys for watching. This is Rock Hard. Out.
Beans, rice, and Jesus Christ. Bitches.